seen these Eagles here on the ice, but now they are back for their start of the season. Gabriel Desai finds the back of the net, and that's the first post goal of the season.
And they score. Tristan Curry, her second of the game.
Calgary, Alberta.
Larson, Highlands Ranch, Colorado. My name is Casey Van Nutzler, and I'm from Whitby, Ontario.
My name is Karis Kale, and I'm from Atikokan, Ontario.
Hi, I'm Selena McKevikas, and I'm from Toronto.
My name is Danny Ammons, and I'm from Centennial, Colorado.
I'm Hannah Lechman, and I'm from Highland Hills, New York.
I'm Hannah Saunders, and I'm from Ottawa, Ontario.
My name is Jet Devlin, and I'm from Alberta, Canada.
I'm Jody Rose, and I'm from Pickering, Ontario.
My name is Julia Wysocki, and I'm from Frankston, Texas.
My name is Macy Peterson, and I'm from Brainerd, Minnesota.
Maddie Noonan, and I'm from Calgary, Alberta.
I'm Noah Corberman, and I'm from Toronto.
My name is Rowan Ringer, and I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
My name is Ruby Mitchell, and I'm from Ontario, Canada.
I'm Riley Patfield, and I'm from Curtis, Ontario.
I'm Sejal Desai, and I'm from Gardner, Massachusetts.
I'm Tristan Curry, and I'm from Parkville, Ontario.
I'm Timmery Grom, and I'm from Livonia, Michigan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We come to you live from the Shelton Sports Center here in Shelton, Connecticut, as we bring you a battle of New-Ha hockey. Today, it's the post-university Eagles hosting the Assumption University Greyhounds. Good evening, everyone. On an unexpectedly and uncharacteristically warm day for the first day of November, it's a chilly one here in the Shelton Sports Center. And the Eagles and Greyhounds looking to get back right today. Both off to some bumpy starts to start their season. Both have faced some very tough competition, and both viewing this game as a vital one in their New-Ha Conference play season. Let's bring you the starting lineups as we're almost ready for puck drop here. For the Greyhounds, it's Kirsten Browning on the left wing, Emma Gurnell at center, and Sheridan Terrazino, the former Eagle, over at right wing. Starting on defense, Deegan Vaughn, Justin Valentini. For the Eagles today, Selena McKevikas, Jody Rose, Macy Peterson are your forwards. Danny Ammons, Casey Van Den Udelaar, and in goal it's Hannah Saunders. But we're underway here in Shelton as the Eagles win the faceoff, dump it all the way down the ice, and we're in store for a good one today. All the way at the far end, along the far boards, Greyhound's going to take it all the way up. This is Kirsten Browning moving it forward already in a shot, but it goes wide. That came off the stick of Sheridan Terrazino. Eagles trying to go the other way now, but not going to have enough speed as the Greyhounds collect behind their own net. Greyhounds enter this game today with a record of 0-6-2. Meanwhile, the Eagles 2-6-0. Both of these teams playing their fifth game in New-Ha Conference play. It's going to be Carissa Mudrack in between the pipes for the Greyhounds today. Hannah Saunders in between the pipes for the Eagles. Sounded like there was a bit of an emergency before the game, and I don't believe that Jaden Weiser will be available in backup for the Greyhounds. So either way, Eagles come forward with a good opportunity here, but good defensive play. A shot on goal. They score! And just like that, a minute and 2 seconds into the game, the Eagles take a 1-0 lead. Rowan Ringer with the goal. And for Ringer, this is her first goal of the year, already her 4th point, however. And the Eagles strike first in this vital conference play matchup. It's 1-0. It looked like we were just kind of trading blows here. Both teams going up and down the ice, getting the skates loose. And the Eagles found themselves with a loose puck out in front of the net, and they took advantage of it. So now with a 1-0 lead, they're trying to regroup in their own end and head back out. Sent alongside the ice, the pass that time intended, and it goes the other way. Heather Ajaki goes into the offensive zone. Nice defensive stick that time from Maddie Noonan. And it goes back behind the Eagles' nets. Post tried to clear it back up the ice, but Tegan Vaughn plays it into the offensive end for the Greyhounds. She slides it on net, and a nice cover up there for Hannah Saunders. Saunders with an easy first test here, 18-17 left in the first period. Saunders, she had a good weekend, not great, but good weekend last week against Franklin Pierce. Saved 15 of 18 shots, an 83.3 percentage. Face-off to the right of her, a quick shot off the face-off, but denied again by Saunders. That time. Eagles send it back up the ice. A little bank pass there. Intended for Maddie Noonan, but it doesn't go their way. Come out of it, this is Hanrahan. Chaplin tips it back in. And the Eagles going to collect back again behind their own net. First line defender Danny Amons out there. Amons with the stick. Amons with the puck on her stick, excuse me. Trying to take it all the way herself. Gets past the red line and just dumps it back down, where Carissa Mudrack's going to take care of it behind her net. Greyhounds with a long up-ice pass. Doesn't really connect there. And again, this is kind of that back-and-forth battle we're talking about, up and down the ice between both teams. Both teams trying to connect on these long up-ice passes, but not a lot of sustained possession in either offensive zone so far today. Post with the 1-0 lead, 17:25 to go here in the first, and a battle for it alongside the far boards. Post University is going to come away with it. Angeline Pitter sends it once again very far up the ice, but the pass doesn't connect, and now Assumption's going to come the other way. Dumping for the Greyhounds. Casey Van den Udelaar chasing after it for Post University. Longbaka there near the near boards. Sends it out in front, but the Eagles are all there to collect. They can't clear it, however. Coming back in, this is Gurnell. Gurnell, good stick that time from Post University, and they get it out of their own defensive end. Coming up their own way, it's Van den Udelaar. She sends it in the far end. Battle for it along the far end. And Selena Mikavakis tries to keep it in their offensive end, but no can do. Both teams getting the line change here. Eagles up 1-0 thanks to that goal from Rowan Ringer, her first of the season. Greyhounds almost made a mistake in their own end, and how about the awareness there from Carissa Mudrack to cover it up, sliding way out of her crease. And we get a stoppage of play. 16:10 to go in the first. Eagles up 1-0. Each team with a shot on goal, but the Eagles with 2 shots as opposed to the Greyhounds just 1, and Post wins the faceoff. Going along the far end, that's Ringer with another shot on goal, and again denied by Mudrack. Eagles do a good job keeping it in. On the far ends, wobbling shot doesn't quite reach the net. Post does a good job keeping it in. Once again near the far end. Near the near end. Post again couldn't keep it in that time, and the Greyhounds get it out of there. Ruby Mitchell was the extra skater today. She's on the ice right now as a true freshman, but she's about to get off. University getting in there, but shot gets denied that time from Mudrack alongside the far boards, and behind the net it goes. Simpson University can get it out of their own end, but once again, Post University doing a great job here in that neutral zone, just keeping possession and not letting the Greyhounds get set up. Going into the offensive end, this is Maddie Noonan. She tried to make a woman miss, but she couldn't do. Justina Valentini hits her hard into the boards there, and Assumption comes away with it. Heather Ajaki couldn't find it behind her stick. And the Greyhounds try to recollect. Good defensive play. I believe this is Noonan coming up the ice. A shot stopped that time by Mudrack. Rebound goes to the far end, out of trouble for Assumption as they clear it up out of their offensive zone. It goes all the way down the ice. Saunders will touch up, and the Eagles have to recollect. Deflection allows the puck to go out of play, and we'll have yet another stoppage. This was something that we saw a lot of if you're a post-University Eagles fan against Franklin Pierce, especially if you're a Greyhounds fan. Last weekend against Long Island University, there was a lot of stoppage of plays. A lot of penalty minutes, a lot of pucks out of play, things of that nature. If you're the Greyhounds, they've had a lot of shots on goal faced defensively, and they're looking to limit that number here today, but already 3 for Post-University. Eagles send it up out of their defensive zone. A little neutralized battle here as the Greyhounds try to take it in. That was Caitlin Cielo with it. Sends it around the far end of the boards. And Ruby Mitchell tries to collect it, but she couldn't clear, and a whistle called. Looks like we're going to have a hand pass called as it's going to go down over to the neutral zone here. Post-University with the 1-0 lead thanks to the Rowan Ringer goal, her first of the season, came only a minute and 2 seconds into this first period. Now just about 6 minutes in, and Post hanging on to that 1-0 lead. Face off the tie-up, and Post-University comes away with it. Going into her offensive end, that's Karis Kell with it. Couldn't quite get the shot on goal. Macy Peterson gets laid out on the far end. And the Eagles almost keep it in, but Greyhounds get it out. Now they try to go the other way. Once again, we're seeing the neutralized defense of the Post-University Eagles play a big part today. But here's McKiernan, passes it over to DeRosano, and she takes a shot, goes wide of the net. The former Eagle trying to make her presence felt back at home today as the puck goes all the way down the far end of the ice. Greyhounds trying to come up the ice with it. This is Emma Gurnell. She shoots one on goal, but an easy save that time for Saunders. Battle for it. Post comes away. Macy Peterson up the ice. She gets tied up along the far end, but her teammate comes in to help her out. Let's see if the Eagles can develop something going the far way. Ruby Mitchell tried to send it up, but she couldn't do so. Good stick check that time from Molly Walsh. Not an everyday player, Molly Walsh, but starting to see some more and more minutes as the season progresses. A long up-ice pass doesn't connect for the Greyhounds. And once again, Post is going to try to touch up on their own ends. No icing called. Rowan Ringer takes it up the ice. Excuse me, that's Riley Patfield with it, I should say. .20 to go in the first. 2 shots on goal for each side so far, and a whistle blown. Looked like offsides. Oh, excuse me, the net was taken off the hook. 12:17 to go, 1-0 Post-University. Not a ton of action so far, a defensive-minded game. Wouldn't be quite sure which side that would help. Again, I was starting to say it earlier. If you're the Greyhounds, they allowed a lot of shots on goal against the undefeated Long Island University last week. Although their goalies really stood up strong, including Carissa Mudrack. Mudrack last week, she went 29 for 32 against Long Island University in save opportunities. Post-University in their offensive end, sending it out to the blue line. A wrist shot on goal, tried to get a deflection, but it got stopped before it ever reached the net. Greyhounds trying to get it out of their end, and almost Rowan Ringer was able to, Rowan Ringer was almost able to keep it in. Deflection gets the puck out of play. Yet another stoppage. Faceoff will come to the right of Carissa Mudrack. And we're going to get full line swaps here from both sides. Pat Bingham in his inaugural year as the Post-University head coach, going up against another inaugural head coach, Joe Grossman, for Assumption University. The Eagles win the faceoff. A quick shot, but it goes wide of the net. And Post University gets the rebound, try to bank pass back to the defender, but ultimately Assumption University comes away with it. Rachel Agrader comes up, moves forward to Hanrahan. Hanrahan, cross-ice pass, a shot, and a nice save that time from Hannah Saunders. First really difficult opportunity for Hannah Saunders, and she handled it nicely. Isabella Doretta, the extra skater, I believe, had the shot on goal that time for Assumption University, and it didn't look like she got all of it. Maybe just a wobbling puck, a little under the stick. She lifted it a little too much. And the face-off comes to the right of Saunders. The tie-up, and Assumption wins it. Goes to the far end, a shot on goal, kicked away, and it trickles just wide of the net. Nice stop by Saunders that time once again. Rebound comes to Assumption University near the blue line. This is Doretta who couldn't find the net. A greeter with it. Back to Dorita. Over to the far end. A soft wrist shot. Sticked aside that time. Hannah Saunders. Loose puck with the rebound. Dorita, her shot gets blocked. Battle for it along the near corner. Dorita somehow finds herself with the puck near the blue line very often here in this offensive possession. And this is the first time we've seen Assumption University with a sustained offensive possession tonight. Just about halfway through this first period. Yet not many shots on goal. A couple of good tests that time for Hannah Saunders, and she handled him nicely. 6 total shots for Post, 2 on goal. But they're trying to make it some more here. Here's a good opportunity and a nice save that time from Carissa Mudrack as she blockered that one away. Post with another chance, another shot. Here's the rebound, and it's wide of the net. Oh, it looked like Post had an opportunity with basically an empty net, but they couldn't capitalize, and it stays at 1-0. Another opportunity gets deflected straight into the glove of Carissa Mudrack. And hey, here's some offense now after the first 8 minutes or so. We saw the goal in the first 2 minutes, and then we saw some good defensive play for a 5-minute stretch, and now we're seeing some more offense. It's the starting line out there, including Jody Rose, who's been tremendous in the faceoff circle so far this year, and she wins another one. Post along the far ends of it. Try to go around the boards, but the Greyhounds get there first. Now there's going to be a tie-up alongside these near boards. Comes out of the Post University end. Langbaka shoots a long shot from outside her own blue line. Again, sticked aside easily that time from Hannah Saunders. Eagles in their home whites coming up the ice. And a good job that time from Molly Walsh, but ruled off sides. Looked like Walsh had a chance to possibly keep it in. But the line judge says that it stayed out of the zone. 9:27 to go in the first. Another thing we've seen so far, no penalties on either side. That was something that both teams wanted to correct after a lot of penalties in previous weekends. Post wins the faceoff, takes it back to their own end, and now trying to clear their defensive zone. That time it looked like Macy Peterson was going for a bank pass up the ice, but it went back into the Post University bench, and we'll have another faceoff here. So far, not necessarily what you would expect, but a 5-1, this is what you would expect, a 5-1 face-off advantage for the Post University Eagles, especially with Jody Rose over there. Shot on goal and gloved away that time from Hannah Saunders. Shot come off the stick of Tegan Vaughn. We're going to have another face-off to the left of Saunders. Assumption also already has 3 blocked shots. That's something they had a lot of in the weekend against LIU. I'll get all these numbers to you as the game progresses along. Post wins another face-off here. Send it up the ice. Rowan Ringer takes it across the blue line. Handles her man, takes the shot, and it gets deflected wide of the net. Riley Patfield sends it back out to the blue line. Angeline Pitter back towards the near boards, and Patfield got tripped up there. Looked like a collision of skates of some sort with Molly Walsh. Glad to see everyone's back on their own feet. And same exact thing happened again, down by the far end. Looked like Patfield sends it back out towards the blue line. This is Pitter with it. Pitter with a shot deflected up and over the netting. Or over the net, I should say, and it goes to the backboards. Back out to Pitter. Chips it forward. Wysocki with it. Wysocki on the blue line. Takes a shot, gets blocked away. Kirsten Browning with the block that time around. And the Greyhounds cleared out of their end. Well, only temporarily. Lucky that one came right to the stick of Justina Valentini. Angeline Pitter sending it up the ice, but it goes straight to the stick of Caitlin Prevey. And Assumption's going to come back the other way with it, trying to set up an offensive breakout of their own. Seven minutes, 40 seconds to go left in this first period with the Eagles up 1-0 over the Greyhounds. Post, again, we're seeing that neutral zone defense really come to life here. But not this time as Assumption takes it forward and chips it right into the glove of Hannah Saunders. An easy save there. 3 blocks for Assumption, none yet for Post University. Meanwhile, Post, they're up 5-1 on faceoffs. Greyhounds win it this time. Privy tries to chip one forward and loose puck out in front, but Heather Ajaki couldn't handle it. Meanwhile, the Greyhounds try to keep it in. Brooke Larson sends it up the ice. That one intended for Tristan Curry, the points leader for the Eagles last season. And University or Post University trying to reset here, but a little slip there. And now the Greyhounds come up with it, a loose puck out in front, and that time a great save from Hannah Saunders off the blocker. She was staying ready for that one as it was a tricky play. Post tries to clear, McKiernan keeps it in. Goes back behind the net to Hanrahan, she gets decked, and now this is Agrader. Agrader chips it back towards the blue line, mishandled there, but the Greyhounds keep it in. McKiernan takes a wrist shot, deflected, and saved that time from Saunders. A great kick save from Saunders yet again, keeps it at a 1-0 game. Agrader keeps it in for the Greyhounds, but eventually the Eagles are able to clear, and you got to imagine Post trying to get a full line swap here. Maybe Greyhounds could take advantage. Agrader sends it into the offensive zone. That's Hanrahan. She gets checked, but it stays in. McKiernan back to Agrader. Along the far boards, Post University able to get it out of their defensive end, but for how long is the question right now? Brooke Larson sends a slap shot just wide of the net, but she was in front of the red line. No icing called. Sheridan Tarazno with a great pass for Michaela Langbecka. She takes a shot right into the chest of Hannah Saunders as she gobbles it up. 5:48 left to go in the first, and hey, Hannah Saunders, she's been tested in the last 5 minutes, and she's come through with flying colors for the Eagles. "16 shots for Assumption here in this first period. Meanwhile, 14 for Post University. Face off to the right of Hannah Saunders. And we have a meeting with the referees right now over at center ice. Media timeout. So we're going to take a break here in the Newha. It's the Post University Eagles up 1-0 against the Assumption Greyhounds. So after a quick breather, we're back here at the Shelton Sports Center with the Eagles leading 1-0 against the Greyhounds. A media timeout. Not something I'm used to. Max Stapleton along with the entire Post University crew bringing you this one as the Eagles win the faceoff, clear their defensive zone, send it up the ice. And the Greyhounds try to collect, send it their own way. Jody Rose, the fantastic face-off centerman for the Eagles. She sent it up. Justina Valentini looking for a breakout pass, couldn't find one. Jody Rose picks it off. She sends it to the center of the ice, and almost a good opportunity, but a great defensive play. Not sure who it was for Assumption, but that just saved a possible goal opportunity. Now they go the other way. 2-on-1. Tarasino, and a great save that time. Hannah Saunders. What a first period she is having. She has faced 17 shots so far, and she stopped them all. Saunders, she faced 18 shots in her one game against Franklin Pierce University last week. She's pretty much already there in the first period today against Assumption University. Maybe looking for a bit more defensive help. Eagles clear their zone, set it up the ice. Julia Wysocki, the leading point getter on the team, sends it through the center but couldn't find a man, and the Greyhounds come the other way. Caitlin Cielo just dumps it in behind the Eagles' net. A little chase for it. A tie-up, and the Greyhounds look like they're going to come away with it. They will. Kirsten Browning sends it right back behind the net. And again, good defensive play from Post University. As they try to clear, it's kept in that time by Cielo, and the Eagles finally do get it out as they look for a change. Caitlin Prevey with it in her own defensive end. Spins out to Kayla McGaffigan, one of the two McGaffigan sisters on this Assumption roster. And there is her sister, Ava McGaffigan, chasing after it, but Post is going to get there first. Maddie Noonan tries to send it to her teammate. Couldn't do so. Now Caroline Lilly going to chase after it for Assumption University. Assumption doing a good job right now, just playing a bit of keep away, keeping the puck in their offensive end. And right now out shooting the Eagles 17-14 here in this first period, a high offensive first period. Post looking to go into the offensive zone. They try to send it up the ice. It gets touched up, and actually not touched up, and icing is called. So the Eagles won't be able to change, and the faceoff will come down towards Hannah Saunders. Both these teams are coming off of a win in their last game, but a series split in their last series. For Assumption, it's not going to look like a win on the record. A shootout win goes as a tie, but they get the extra point. For the Eagles, 1-1 split against Franklin Pierce University. Greyhounds win it, a shot, and it goes off the mask of a defender there. I believe that's Angeline Pitter. Hopefully she's okay. She's back up to her feet, but that's never, ever something you want to see. She was down for a second. Now she's back as the tie-up is on the far boards. Hey, you got to give Angeline Pitter a lot of credit there, using her whole body to block a shot, but oof, scary sight. Good to see she's good. Assumption trying to break out. That was Brooke Larson, a little bank pass intended for Ruby Mitchell, and she just dumps it in so the Eagles can get a change, especially after that icing. Greyhounds looking to break out. Rachel Agrider with a lot of speed up the ice, 1-on-2, but puts it right into the chest of Hannah Saunders, and Saunders with another easy save, her 19th of the night. Well, even though the Eagles are getting outshot 19-14 in this first period, one positive you can look at is that they're winning the faceoff battle 12-5. Make it 12-6 after that Greyhounds win. Loose puck behind the net, and Ruby Mitchell comes away with it for Post. Mitchell trying to get it out, but once again the Greyhounds right back into their offensive end. Hanrahan tries to send it into the slot, but couldn't get the pass to connect. Good stick that time, I believe. I believe that was Ruby Mitchell once again with a good defensive stick. Mitchell has it. Sends it up the ice for Jet Devlin. Devlin lost it, but Mitchell collected it right behind her. Mikavakis tried to chip one on net, but it goes just wide. She collects her own rebound and sends it back for Peterson. Peterson gets tied up back towards the blue line. Long shot, once again deflected wide of the net, but a good opportunity here for the Eagles as they keep it in their offensive end. Pass behind the net couldn't go. Tarasno tries to break out with it. And a good deck that time from Selena Mikavakis, laying a body on the opponent. Gets the puck right back for Post. Valentini coming up the ice with a lot of speed, but she gets pinched right at the blue line. Good play by Danny Amons to take the puck away. Casey Van Den Udelaar sends it up the ice. Mikavakis with it once again, chips it towards the far end of things. So the Eagles playing a little bit of dump and chase here, trying to get a line change and some new energy on while trying to keep it in their offensive end. Couldn't do so as Tarazino takes it the other way, and now the Greyhounds are going to dump and chase. Just over a minute to go here in this first. The Eagles clinging on to a 1-0 lead, but here come the Greyhounds once again. A long shot gets blocked that time. Oh, what a play from Rowan Ringer. Ringer tries to intercept one. A good body that time from Caitlin Cielo as well. Tie up along the far ends. 50 seconds to go here in this first. Ajaki comes away with it. She gets tripped up on the far end. Looked like Ringer didn't have her stick for a while there as well, and the puck goes all the way back down behind the net of Carissa Mudrack. Mudrack was tested a lot in the first 10 minutes of this game. Not nearly as much in the last 10 minutes. See if the Eagles can get one last push before the period ends. Trying to catch Assumption in a change, but it's Jenna Chaplin tipping it back towards the Eagles' defensive end. Now McKiernan for the Greyhounds. 10 seconds to go here in the first. They chip it forward. And so the Post-University Eagles here at home for only the second time this year. They will take a 1-0 lead into this first period intermission. Well, how about this Assumption outshooting Post-University 14-5 here in this first period. That's shots on goal, 20-16 total. But at the end of the day, the only stat that matters is the one on the scoreboard, and it's the Post-University Eagles 1 and the Assumption Greyhounds nothing. We'll be back in just a few.
We're here with our Post-University Men's Basketball 2024-25 Media Day, joined by graduate student Harrison Warnock. Harrison, you're coming off an injury last year, kind of came back quicker than you expected to. Now you're fully healthy. What are you looking forward to this year?
Oh, man, I'm just really excited to finally be back on two legs after, you can see in the film, even looking back, just hobbling around for most of the season. So I'm excited to see what I can really do and what I can really bring to the table for this team and see how well we can mesh together.
And what was that like last year, kind of coming back all of a sudden and reintegrating yourself into a bigger role than you thought you were going to have coming off of surgery?
Yeah, I mean, definitely had some ups and downs. In the beginning, my head wasn't there. I was just thinking about, if I just didn't get hurt, everything like that. But, my teammates always had my back. They kept pushing me. They kept saying, keep going, you'll be fine, and it all worked out.
How do you integrate the newcomers onto this roster? There's only a couple of them, but still integrating them into the culture that you talked about back in March when we talked about the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I see us as a team that, we really buy into what Coach is trying to tell us and, push us in the right direction. So I feel like especially some of our older guys like Tyler and I have been here for forever at this point, so we can definitely bring them along and, show them the ropes and see how, everything's supposed to go down.
And then pretty much the same team as last year, give or take a few people, and then obviously the newcomers. What do you think this group can accomplish this year?
I definitely, I'm excited to see. As long as we can, keep our heads together and, keep having each other's backs and we buy into what Coach is trying to teach us and what he wants us to do, I think we can definitely make a big season this year. So I'm excited for that.
We're joined here by Dang Dieng and Bull Acott. Guys, 1-2 punch on offense last year. Both were all conference. Dang, you were all region. How do you guys set the tone for this season?
I think we're going to come back with the same energy and just show that we're the most dominant team and be the most aggressive team in the conference and be one of the best teams in the country. So I think we just start by having a good season, going hard right away, and just proving that we are the same team from last year, and even better.
I agree with that, but I also think that we just need to come back with the same mentality, but with some more. And we've been in this situation before, because from last year we just got piggyback, just up our intensity and our focus, our energy and everything, and just lead the team as we did last year, but just with some more maturity and yeah, overall.
Yeah, and Bull, you talked about last year your desire to win it all. So what do you have to do to help make that happen this year, do you feel?
I think I just got to lead by example and just to make sure, because I know Kuntz believes that we can win, and I believe we can win. So as I instill that all to all of us in the locker room, I feel like we can all be on the same page because we all know we can win.
And then, Dan, you got a lot of looks after the year was over, and you had a very dominant year, like I mentioned, all region. What brought you back to Post for this chance at another NCAA tournament run?
It's a family environment over here, you know. These are my guys, Bull, Rob, Harry, the rest of the team. Coach Kuntz is a really good coach. And, you know, you can't get that feeling from everywhere. Like, you might go somewhere, but you might not be wanted as much or you might not be valued as much. So it's about just being where you're valued and where you can be the best you. So I think Post will help me do that.
And then lastly, pretty much the same team from last year, give or take a couple guys. But what do you think overall this team can accomplish?
I think we can win the whole thing. I think we should come back this year and win the CACC championship because we deserve to, and we've been through a lot. So I think that's where we start. It's just building games one by one and keep going and playing hard the whole year. And I think we should end up in the tournament again.
Yeah, I definitely think we can win it all. And it just starts literally preseason and stacking up good days in each and every day and then taking it one game at a time. But I really believe that we can win it all. Starting with the CACC, go to the tournament, and win everything.
We're here with Tyler Small, who's coming back to the team after missing all last year with injury. And Tyler, kind of going off of that, what was it like sitting out last year? What are you most excited about coming into this year?
I say last year was really tough. It was hard because when I came to school, I was like, okay, I'm going to play. I am getting off injury, but like I'm ready to go. And then after the first couple like preseason workouts, shoot rounds, I'm like, all right, I'm not at 100%. And it was nice because Coach was willing to hear me out and gave me the opportunity to redshirt and actually get back to full health. But that doesn't mean that I took last season off. I feel like I was almost like an assistant coach and kind of helping our really new team last year integrate and being able to almost be like a liaison sometimes between them and Coach and just helping them really get into a flow. And I think now, this year, it's going to really show that I've been able to at least stay in touch with everybody, and really I think we're going to have a really good chemistry coming out.
Talk about that role a little bit too last year, what it was like being on the bench with the players. I know I was at one of your practices around Halloween and you were dressed up like Wario and like you were very involved still with the practices and stuff.
I think because one thing that Coach was really serious about was kind of making sure that I'm still engaged mentally, and being in practice and kind of having a more elevated role was good for me to really stay involved and stay vocal and still kind of have, hopefully give off a leadership image and be able to get people to buy in early. When you have a new team, it is difficult, and that's like one of the hardest things. And I think it really worked because being a player coach kind of, they were able to say, you know what, maybe it's not just Coach yelling at us this time, but maybe there's something to it, and they just gave them a different perspective.
Now, pretty much a similar team to last year. What are you most excited about being back on the court with this squad for? What do you think they can accomplish?
I think we had a great team last year. I think Coach really got everyone together, and we have some good players, which is always a benefit. But I think this year now, hopefully I could just add a little bit something to that, maybe whether that be outside shooting, maybe it's just extra defense. And I think really we just have to find our flow early and be unselfish and be able to, you know, share the wealth. I think we have a lot of pieces, and it's all about just coming together as a team and working towards our common goal.
We're here with head coach Mark Kuntz as we round out the men's basketball 2024-25 Media Day. Coach Kuntz heading into his 8th season with the team, 9th overall. Coach, what did it mean to be part of history with this program last year?
It was unbelievable, Mike. You know, when I took the job 9 years ago, didn't really know what I was stepping into, and then had to go through over a lot of hurdles to get the program to a respectable place and then to a championship level, and then just to be able to do it for the first time in school history, make that accomplishment with those group of guys was just an unreal experience.
And talk a little bit about, we saw some photos with your daughter at the selection show and after your win against St. Thomas Aquinas up there. How special was it to be able to enjoy that with your family?
Yeah, you know, I mean, she's around all the time. She's a part of this place. She's like my associate head coach. I call her all the time. she always asked what's going on. So having her there, for the selection show, because she's a part of it, having her in Vermont was just great. Brought her in the locker room. Something she'll forget, but I'll never forget. And those memories are, you can't talk about it. My wife, my mother, my brother were up in Vermont as well. So just to be able to share that with them gives the accomplishment 10 times. Not even that, more than that, makes it even more valuable.
And, of course, you've been here for a while, seen those ups and downs of the program to build it to what it is now. Talk about what's gone into that culture change and building the program to where it is.
Yeah, I think it starts with the players. You've got to have good players or else, you're not a good coach. And not that I am a good coach, bad coach, whatever. We've just got it to the point where we've figured out the players that can help us win. We need tough guys that are athletic and really compete, and they want to win. And the last 5 years, we've had those guys. And it took some time to figure out who and what to get there. And now we're getting those guys, and it's just kind of now passing off year to year. Now the new guys are learning from the older guys what it takes to survive. Because as you well know, I'm not easy to play for. I hold guys accountable. But I think that's why, we're as good as we do, because I hold them every day, every play to a certain level, and there's accountability. And with that, it's not easy. And I think now these older players are teaching the younger players. And when you've got that culture, I don't like using the word culture a lot, but when you have that, it's really makes my life a lot easier.
And this year you're returning pretty much the majority of that NCAA tournament team outside of one or two guys, I think, and you're getting back Tyler Small this year. You're bringing in 4 or 5 newbies.
Yes.
What do you think this program can do this year based on that?
I think these guys can do as much as they want. Last year was great. We didn't shoot the ball great. I think that's our biggest thing. I've talked to the guys. You have to shoot the ball better. If we want to do what we did last year and beyond, we've got to shoot it better. And that's in their hands. I don't make shots. Last time I checked, I don't step on the floor. So that's in their hands. And it's going to be my job to kind of manage, because, now that we've won, there's kind of an ego, right? There's an expectation for certain guys. And we've got guys that want to play after their career. So managing that is going to be my job. But when we go out there, we just have to be the hardest playing team in the region, like we talked about last year. I think we'll do that. But if we can make more shots, this team can be special.
Head coach Mark Kuntz, 8th season with the team, 9th year overall. Post men's basketball will get underway at the beginning of November with their season already receiving votes in the national poll heading into the 2024-25 campaign.
Welcome back into the Shelton Sports Center here in Shelton, Connecticut, as we're just under 30 seconds away from starting period number 2. And how about that period number 1 between the Greyhounds and the Eagles? 21 shots in total, 14 of them on goal for Assumption University. Meanwhile, 16 shots for the Eagles, only 5 of which have tested Carissa Mudrack in net. But hey, the only stat that matters is the stat of goals. And in that case, the Eagles lead 1-0. The Greyhounds trying to bounce back, get their first true win of the season, and we're underway here in period number 2. The Greyhounds win the face-off, but the Eagles send it down to their offensive end. And immediately, Tegan Vaughn tries to play it behind her own net. Can't quite get it out there. This is Hanrahan clearing the zone, and she does so. Passes it up for Agrider. And meanwhile, well, for a second it looked like the Greyhounds were going to stay offsides, but instead they had to tag back up. Hanrahan applying some pressure, got a space off for Chaplin, and Chaplin sent it just wide of the net. Looked like it might have been played with a high stick that time from the Eagles as they were trying to clear their zone, but they recalibrate, send it back in. A little bank pass doesn't go. Justina Valentini with it. Goes all the way back towards the net of Hannah Saunders, and she's getting forced to just cover up after a nice hustle that time from Caroline Lilly for Assumption. So right away, we're seeing a lot of offensive possession for the Assumption University Greyhounds. A lot of what we saw in that first period for them. But if you're looking at this, the one stat that the Eagles really have so far over the Greyhounds is their stat in the face-off circle as they win their 13th of the night right there. But the Greyhounds recollect, send it all the way down the ice. Back behind the opponent's net, Caroline Lilly misplayed it. Lexi Kirkaby in a battle along the near wards here. It goes all the way back, Mary McKiernan. Post University trying to break something out, develop some offense here in this second period. 18:39 to go, just getting underway. Sajel Desai tipped it into the offensive end. This is Roan Ringer with it now. Ringer sends one out into the slot, and the shot there gets deflected wide of the net. Shot came off of Maddie Noonan's stick that time as Caroline Lilly plays it forward. She takes a shot, and that time it gets blocked at her side by Hannah Saunders. Ooh, a lot of people on the ice for the Greyhounds. Nothing called that time. Very risky, almost close to too many men on the ice. Dump and chase for the Eagles. Maddie Noonan plays it alongside the near boards. Noonan tries to pass it towards the blue line, couldn't do so as Emma Gurnell takes it away. Back into the offensive zone as Carissa Mudrack has to touch up. Well, this couldn't be two more polar opposite games for Carissa Mudrack from last week to this week. Last week for Carissa Mudrack, she faced 32 shots over 3 periods against Long Island University. That one, just her 6th shot on goal face today, if you even call it that. But another face-off win here for Post University. They can't handle it cleanly. Slides alongside the far boards, battle for it. Michaela Longbaka in there. I believe Riley Patfield's in there as well for Post University, and the Eagles come away with it. Back to the blue line, Danny Amons just tries to chip it forward, but it goes straight to a Greyhound. Emma Gurnell along the near boards. Good check that time from Amons, takes the puck away. Little bang pass to herself that time. And it goes over to the puck of Hannah Luckman. Luckman just whiffed on a pass, sends it out into the slot, loose puck out in front, and an early whistle that time as the puck looked to still be loose. But they're going to say that Carissa Mudrack covered up on top of it, and a frozen puck with 17:15 left to go here in the second. There's a little offense for the Eagles as you get some full platoon swaps here from both sides. Jody Rose, the centerman for the Eagles, wins yet another faceoff. Boy, she's something to watch in the faceoff circle. Going back to last week against Franklin Pierce, she was the team leader in that category. And Post tries to keep it in, can't do so. We'll have another one here in the neutral zone. So take a look at this. Last week against Franklin Pierce University, Jody Rose went 29 for 39 in the faceoff circle. The rest of the team, 31 for 74. Safe to say that Jody Rose might be carrying that category. We'll see if she can continue to do so as the night goes on, although the rest of the team has done very well tonight in the faceoff circle, so that might not be fair. I mean, meanwhile, What an opportunity that time for Jody Rose herself right in front of the net. Try to deflect one in. And we'll have yet another stoppage of play. Another thing worth noting was that the Eagles took 11 penalties last weekend. Neither team has taken a single penalty so far today. It was equally as bad for Assumption, as that time a little extra pushing and shoving from Carissa Mudrack towards Selena Mikavakis. Mikavakis looks like she was just trying to get a deflection in the offensive end, and Mudrack took exception to it. Rowan Ringer, the face-off woman, she wins it for the Eagles as they try to set up a play, but it gets intercepted that time by Kirsten Browning. Off to her teammate McCaffigan. Kayla McCaffigan sends it into the offensive zone, back behind the net. And the Eagles come away with it, moving right to left. That was Riley Patfield who got tied up near the blue line. Another battle for it here. Rowan Ringer's going to come away with it. 2-on-2, 2-on-3 developing, and an offsides called. Riley Patfield just a step too far over the blue line, and we'll have a face-off here in the neutral zone. Both teams back in the win column as Assumption gets the face-off win last weekend, trying to continue that streak today. Goes down towards the defensive end of Post University, tie up alongside the far boards, and it goes out into the slot, a backhand opportunity, but it just goes wide of the net. Now Lexi Kirkaby has it out towards the blue line, a loose puck out in front, and again a great chance for Hanrahan out in front of the net. Hannah Saunders coming up strong so far today. Another opportunity here. That one hit the side of the net. It was Hanrahan yet again. This time Post University just trying to get out of danger here. Cross-ice pass goes right into the stick of Lexi Kirkaby. She tries to send it into the offensive zone. Battle forward along that post-defensive blue line. And the Eagles come away with it, but they just chip it forward as far as they can. Kirkaby sends it into the offensive end. Kirkaby with some speed. Oh, what a move from Kirkaby that time, but a good help defensively. I believe that was Karis Kell defensively, the Nuha Defensive Player of the Week last week. And here is Karis Kell, sends it up the ice, a little dump and chase action. A platoon swap for the Eagles allows the Greyhounds to, well, it looked like they were going to get possession, but hey, good forecheck there from Post University as they keep it in their offensive end. Tristan Curry with it. Curry bodies a defender and sends it back deep behind the offensive net. Towards the far ends, couple of bodies falling. Heather Jakey's mixed up in there, and it's Curry who comes away with it. Curry, she tried to send it to the blue line. A good defensive play from a Jakey yet again. The puck goes all the way back down where it will be touched up for an icing. 14 minutes, 33 seconds to go here in this middle period. Post University clinging on to this 1-0 lead. Face off to the right of Carissa Mudrack. Tie up on the face-off. Goes back behind the offensive netting, and it looks like Post's going to come away with it, trying to set up their offensive possession. Towards the blue line, Van den Udelar sends it for Amons. Amons tips one on net, but it gets blocked before it ever hits the net by a Jakey. Back to Van den Udelar. Post sends it back behind the offensive net. Tie up for it, and it goes out in front of the net, but Caroline Lilly is the Greyhound who comes away with it. She dumps it in. Hannah Saunders going to grab it. Leaves it for her teammate as Post University tries to recollect. Oh, a bad turnover, a shot, and a goal! Assumption University ties it up at 1 apiece. Emma Gurnell with the shot and the goal that time. For Gurnell, her first points of the season. And the 5'6" junior out of Old Saybrook, Connecticut, tallies her first point as a Greyhound after transferring from the University of Maine. About halfway through this game, a brand new game. The Greyhounds were pushing and pushing, but they equal it up at 1 apiece. Let's see how the Eagles can respond here. They send it up the ice. Peterson, I should say. It goes back to her stick, to the offensive net. Mikavicus sends it back out towards the blue line. Tie up along the far boards. And it looks like a whistle called, a hand pass called, as once again the Eagles, for the second time tonight, called for a hand pass, and the puck will leave their offensive zone. Official scoring on that goal, her first of the season for Emma Gurnell. If I'm looking at this correctly, looks like, no assist on that one. For a second, I thought Carissa Mudrack got an assist on that one, but ended up not being the case. Meanwhile, the Eagles send it up the ice, 13:06 to go in a 1-1 game. Julia Wysocki with it, the leading point getter for Post University, in a tie-up behind the offensive net. Riley Patfield tried to help her out, and Rowan Ringer comes away with the interception. Patfield almost sent it on net, but it gets blocked away that time. And here come the Greyhounds. Michaela Lungbaka up towards the ice, and wow, good job by the true freshman that time, Ruby Mitchell, to cut her off. We've seen a little bit of everything so far today. We've seen a very clean game. At moments, some really good offense, and at moments, some really good defense. Tegan Vaughn tries to collect the puck in her own end, sends it up the ice. A race for the puck towards the offensive zone, and a pass out into the slot gets denied by Saunders. Ooh, what a play out of nowhere that time for the Greyhounds. Looks like a possible trip near the far end, and a penalty will be called. Mudrack coming out of her net, 6-on-5 for the Greyhounds as the Eagles touch up. And just as I said, we had a particularly clean game. We'll see our first power play of the day. Let's hear the call. It's going to be Ruby Mitchell with a hook at 12:03 here in the second period. First power play of the game for Assumption University. First penalty kill of the game on the season so far. Hey, how about Post University and their penalty kill? Second best in the Newha so far this season. Meanwhile, Assumption's looking for their first power play goal of the season. Let's see if either of these trends can change or if they stay the same here. Sheridan Terrazano on the power play unit for Assumption University in a battle on those far boards behind the offensive net. Loose puck out in front. It's still loose. Here's an opportunity. Terrazano with the shot, and she just misses it wide. A minute 30 left to go in this power play. As another stoppage that time. And wow, good stop that time from Hannah Saunders. A minute 31 to go on the 2-minute penalty to Ruby Mitchell for the hook. Ajaki and Devlin in the face-off circle, and Ajaki wins it for the Greyhounds. And the Greyhounds set up their power play unit. Tried a shot there, but it got blocked, and it goes out of their offensive end. Justina Valentina carrying the puck through center ice and into the offensive zone. Looking for a pass into the slot. Can't find one and circles around. Tries one there, but looked like a whiff that time. Believe it was Ajaki again. Here's Terrazano with a shot. Sticked aside that time from Saunders. Good job by Assumption University keeping it in the offensive zone. The tie-up right in front of their bench. As tick, tick, tick goes the power play. That's all the Eagles are trying to do right now with that tie-up. Danny Amons doing the same thing in that near corner. But eventually, if you're Pat Bingham in this post crew, you want them to clear the zone as there's another shot on goal. Caroline Lilly with the shot and another stop by Saunders. Valentini near the point. Back towards the far wing. Another shot and deflected wide. Tegan Vaughn towards the blue line. Vaughn wrists one, goes wide. Here's another opportunity, and they couldn't get the shot to go. A clash of bodies near the far end. 15 seconds to go left in this Assumption power play as the Eagles are trying to tick off as much as they can. The entire power play has been in the offensive end as there's another opportunity. Another save that time from Saunders. 2 seconds to go in the power play. One, and we're yet even strength here, but a great opportunity. Another great save from Hannah Saunders. How about the night that Hannah Saunders is having in the net? She's faced 21 shots on goal, 33 shots total, and she's led all but one, and she's sticked all but one aside. Immediate timeout here at the Shelton Sports Center, 9:58 to go in the second period, just about halfway through, and a tie game at 1 apiece. .58 to go here in this second period in a tie game. 1 apiece as the faceoff comes to Hannah Saunders' right. The Greyhounds win it, but only temporarily. It stays in the offensive zone, and the Eagles finally are able to clear it out. A lot of shots for the Greyhounds so far, but an opportunity for the Eagles as Macy Peterson sends it into the slot, but the pass can't go, and no shot on goal for Post University. Sage Oldesai sends it back into the offensive end where Caitlin Cielo will pick it up. Tries to send it out of her defensive end, but a good forecheck and a tip and a deflection, but a good save. Really one of the first times Carissa Mudrak has been tested this period. Oh, a turnover here from the Eagles, and the Greyhounds pick it up in the offensive end. A battle for it along the near ends. Cielo ends up with the puck, only for a quick second. Near the blue line, it gets deflected and a whistle called. Looked like it might have been a hand pass of some sort, or not quite sure. Never mind, a penalty. This is on Karis Kell, the defensive player of the week last week. Not sure what the call was, but just like that, another 2-minute minor, and the Greyhounds get another opportunity. They didn't quite score on the power play, but it was just after their power play where they got the game-tying goal. Let's see if they could take advantage this time. Eagles won the faceoff, cleared it all the way down the ice where the Greyhounds will have to tag up. Valentini with it. Oh, a good defensive play that time from Post University and Rowan Ringer to take the puck away. Meanwhile, Wysocki tries to pass it back to Ringer, but the pass couldn't go, and Tarazano takes it up the other end of the ice. Jakey with it. Cross-ice pass back to Tarazano. That one doesn't connect, and Amons collects for the Eagles. A lot of tie-ups in this game. A lot of battles along the near and far boards, and we'll see which team really ends up with the statistical advantage after the fact in that one. The Eagles trying to waste more time off their power play. Meanwhile, the Greyhounds tried to catch him in a change, couldn't do so, and the puck goes right back down the ice. Valentini at center ice, carries it through into the offensive zone, lays it off for Caroline Lilly, but Lilly gets intercepted. Nice play that time from Sage Oldesai, and it goes back behind the Post University net. Through the boards, all the way down. 7:46 to go in the second period. 40 seconds to go on the woman advantage for the Greyhounds. Jenna Chaplin with it, the leading point getter for the Greyhounds, all alone with the shot, and it gloved aside that time from Hannah Saunders. Boy, how did that happen? The speed of Jenna Chaplin just found herself all alone in a one-on-one opportunity. Meanwhile, not out of the clear yet. Assumption sends one out in front. Another save that time from Saunders as she kicked it away. Who's going to come away with the battle along the near boards? It goes flying up into the air and into the netting where it goes out of play. 5 seconds to go left on this penalty kill for Post University, the penalty to Karis Kell. And it looks like Hannah Saunders and the penalty kill unit for Post University will get another kill on the night if everything stays the same. Still 5 more seconds to kill. Face-off won by Post University. They send it back behind their defensive end. And Kell's out of the zone. Even strength. And the power play goes to 0 for 2 on the night for Assumption University. Still 0 for on the season. 6:50 to go in this second period. Good chance that time for Caitlin Cielo, but she sent the shot wide. Might have been a good defensive stick from Danny Amons as well. And you look at the general course of this game, Post University having a really tough time getting the puck out of their own defensive end. Assumption firing a lot of shots on goal, but Hannah Saunders coming up with mostly all answers. Let's see if the Eagles can break out here. This is Van den Udelaar with it. Sends it across the ice. Trying to find her teammate Hannah Luckman, but the Eagles are ruled off sides, and we'll have yet another face-off in the neutral zone. How about this? 23 shots on goal for Assumption. Only 9 so far for Post University. They're trying to test Carissa Mudrak anymore, but haven't been able to find the right formula to do so. They won the face-off. They tried to dump and chase, but the Greyhounds collect it back in their own end, and now it's a 3-on-1 opportunity. Sheridan Terrazano, she couldn't handle the pass, tries to send it out in front, but no one was there, and it goes all the way into the near corners. Looked like a chance for a counterattack for the Eagles, but they couldn't handle the up-ice pass, and now everyone's going to reset back in the Post University defensive end. Keegan Vaughn sends it to Valentini. Up the ice, Terrazano just sends it on net, where Hannah Saunders will lay it for her teammate. Brooke Larson takes it. Cross-ice pass, try to bank pass, but it ends up on the stick of Valentini. And once again, the Greyhounds will reset. Kirkaby mishandled it. Back to Valentini, and now a Jakey with a lot of speed up the ice. Lays it off for Lily. Try to give and go play that time, but a good stick from Sage Desai prevents that from happening. Oh, where'd the puck go for a quick second? I don't think anyone saw that. It was a quick shot from the corner. It looked like it bounced off the side of the net, but I don't think Hannah Saunders saw it until it was in between her skate and the post. Scary moment there if you're an Eagles fan. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the second. And it looks like Hannah Saunders is having a bit of a talking to from one of the referees. Meanwhile, the face-off to the left of her. Post University wins it yet again. Clear the defensive end. Make the Greyhounds chase it all the way down. Meanwhile, Rowan Ringer with a lot of speed prevents a potential icing. I don't know if it made it all the way down, but why take the risk? Assumption University trying to clear. Oh, what a I thought that Julia Wysocki made a tremendous play keeping the puck in the offensive zone, but the referees disagreed with me. And we'll have a neutral ice face-off. That face-off advantage still proving very, very strong for Post University, 26-10. The advantage in the face-off circle, but make it 26-11 that time as Jenna Chaplin wins it. She goes into her offensive zone. She tries a one-on-one battle. She sent one on net. It got kicked aside that time from Saunders, and the Eagles try to clear. Not to Rachel Agrider, though, as she almost sent one over. Now Julia Wysocki with it. Wysocki going up 2-on-1, tries to send it forward, and the Eagles just send it into their offensive end. Alexa Hanrahan tries to collect for Assumption University, sends it up to Agrider, and she has it in the offensive near corner. Looked like she got tripped for her second, no call. It goes all the way around the boards and back to the Greyhounds defensive zone. Chase for the puck. Maddie Noonan with a high effort play. Couldn't collect on the forecheck. And meanwhile, the Greyhounds try to clear out. You're starting to see a bit more an aggressive forecheck from Post University here in the second period. And almost a costly turnover there. Good job from Post to clean it up. Maddie Noonan into the offensive end, sends it into the slot. Karis Kell couldn't capitalize. She got laid out at center ice, and now the Greyhounds are trying to go the other way. 2-on-2. This is Molly Walsh towards the far end, and Walsh just has to kind of handle and retreat, play the possession game here in the offensive zone. It goes back to her. Actually, this is Kirsten Browning with it, excuse me. Walsh in the far corners gets tripped up. And Post University just trying to get a change in. Maddie Noonan finds her way off the ice, but that's the only change they're able to make as Assumption gets right back into the offensive zone. Sheridan Terrazano tried to send it into the slot. No can do. Loose puck, bouncing puck out in front, and it ends up on the stick of Terrazano yet again. She takes on a woman by herself. Another give-and-go play that time. I believe it was a defensive stick of Riley Patfield, preventing that shot on goal. Still in the Assumption offensive zone, Valentini just tries to chip one over towards the net, and it got blocked before it ever got there. Assumption having to tag up. Lombaka in the battle, Terrazano in the battle, and it ends up in the stick of Danny Amons. Now Karis Kell has it. Let's see if the Eagles can have a breakout. Just over 2 minutes to go left in this second period, but it really didn't look like Noah Faberman just had enough energy after a long defensive shift to finish that play. Terrazano sends it up the ice for Gurnell, whistled offsides. I'll tell you what, that give-and-go action that the Greyhounds are running tonight has given the Eagles fits. Little 1-2 passes right in front of the net, 1-2 passes to try to get around defenders, and right now, Eagles don't have many answers for it. Getting outshot, getting outblocked, and right now in a tie game, safe to say that the Greyhounds have won this period. Post wins the face-off under 2 minutes to go here in the second. Stays in their defensive end for right now as they send it up the ice. And that's going to be an icing. Goes all the way back towards the other end. 1:32 to go in the first. We've already seen a good amount of it so far tonight, but something to note about Assumption University is that they block a ton of shots on the ice last weekend. They blocked 34 in total against Long Island University. That'd be the first place undefeated Long Island University. So far today, they have 7 block shots. They still have possession in the offensive zone. Just over a minute to go in this second, I should say. A pass out to the slot doesn't connect for a Jakey, and she sends it back out to the blue line. Once again on her stick, a Jakey with a shot blocked at her side that time from Saunders. Post tries to clear, they can't do so. What a job by the Greyhounds, especially at that blue line control, keeping the puck in their offensive end. They're buzzing right now, trying to take a 2-1 advantage, but the Eagles swing it the other way. Hannah Luckman sends it into gets it in the offensive zone. To the far corner. Riley Patfield with it. Now back to Luckman, but it gets intercepted quickly by Kirkaby first. 35 seconds to go here in this second period. Luckman around the far boards. Looks like Riley Patfield doesn't have a skate. She keeps on tripping and falling, and now she collects herself. But here's a 1-0. Alexa Hanrahan all alone makes a move. What a save from Saunders. Saunders with a beautiful save in a shootout type situation as this period comes to a close to keep it at 1. As the clock ticks down here on this second period, what a period it was. We're all tied up at 1 apiece. The goal in the second off the stick of Emma Gurnell, her first of the season. But meanwhile, Hannah Saunders having an unbelievable night in net. She has let one in, but she has faced a total of 26 shots on goal from Assumption, and that's the story right now. The unrelenting force of Assumption versus the immovable force of Hannah Saunders. We'll be back after the second intermission here at Shelton Sports Center.
Kicking off our Women's Basketball 2024-25 Media Day with seniors Raquel Washington and Jaden Burns. Guys, you're the oldest players on the team now, believe it or not, and you're both in your fourth year. You guys came off the bench last year. Talk about that role a little bit and then how valuable your experience is to a team of 13 newcomers.
I mean, coming off the bench last year, there's a lot of expectations that you get just being off the bench as a player in practice. But that's just as someone who goes hard in practice, who comes with a lot of energy. With having those expectations and coming into the new year with 13 new players, like, it's really that time to step up, prove who you are, prove your ability, prove that we're the oldest on the team now. I mean, I've been the youngest on the team for 3 years in a row. So now kind of being at that age and at that level where it's time to really be a role model for others is really important for me.
I can say I agree with Jaden. Definitely everything, bring energy, building off like what she said about filling the role model spot. Like, I've been here for a very long time, and I've watched the program grow, so I really have that opportunity to fill big shoes while setting the benchmark for 13 new players.
4 straight North Division titles. You guys have been here, I think, for 3 of them now. How does this team do it again this year, and what do you attribute that success to over the last 3 years to get those while you guys have been here to see it?
I say by just being one as on the court and off the court, because that's something that we need. Chemistry is something big, energy, and like having a level head. Like, each time we went to get that conference championship, like, we had a level head about it, but we can't lose our footing just to, okay, we have 4. Let's go get another one.
Yeah, I mean, I think people will think this year is like a rebuilding year. But granted, we have 13 new players, but I think this is the time to prove everyone that, granted, we are a very young team now, but this is the time to really push, prove to other people that it doesn't matter our age, doesn't matter how many new players we may have, how many transfers we have, to reach, like I said, those expectations that we have of previous years of winning and kind of having that same standard now.
And even with the 13 newcomers, you guys have 7 Division I transfers coming in too. Yeah. What's it been like getting these new players on the team? How have they kind of meshed together? I know when we're recording this, it's only September, but in the early days, how has it been working with all these players?
Yeah, I mean, very early days. We just had our first team practice a little while ago, and you can feel the energy. You can feel, like, the energy when it comes to just learning new things, kind of adapting to new things. And like I said, as returners, we have those expectations of being like, this is what it is, let's get everybody on board. Chemistry seems to be very well. We're a team full of energy, so I think we're all just really excited of meshing well and continuing that process throughout the year.
Yeah, and then finally, what do you guys think this team can do this year? Obviously, you've had a lot of success in the past, but we're still chasing that elusive first CACC championship. Yeah. What do you guys think this team can do this year?
I think this team is going to go far. Like, we have goals of going possibly to the Elite 8. We all know what we want to do. We all know what we want to win. We all know we want to end the season with a ring. So we know the expectations. We know the goals. We know the standard. Coach is very well at taking it one game at a time, but we know what it is and what it takes to win. But I think we're going to go far. That's me.
I agree. Like, I have so much faith in this team. Like, even the team is excited. Like, that's all we talk about every time we're in the locker room. And even on the court or in the lunchroom, like, we're very excited to get farther than what this team has been already. So
we're here with newcomers to the team, Jackie Russell and Emma Carmen. First, Jackie, state champion here in Connecticut, 1,000-point scorer. How do you hope to get that success from high school and translate it to the college level?
I definitely think that where my game's going to translate the most is on the defensive end of the floor. And then, honestly, a lot of it just comes from contributing energy and just overall getting the team to build that chemistry together. Alongside then, obviously, I got recruited for shooting. So I'm hoping to have a great shooting year this year.
Then, Emma, you came from Quinnipiac. You're a sophomore on this team. You also, in high school, had 4 Shoreby North Division championships. But coming from Quinnipiac, what do you hope to contribute to this team?
Really for me, it's just being that gritty player, working hard, getting rebounds, and hopefully getting some threes in this year. I'm also very versatile, so I like to step out depending on who's guarding me.
And then, Jackie, what's it been like in your first few weeks here at Post, your first time in college? I know, Emma, you were at Quinnipiac last year, obviously, but what's it been like coming to Post for the first few weeks?
I've honestly really enjoyed it because I've come from a small town myself, so it kind of has the same feel here, and everything, as they say, Post makes it personal. You really get to know everybody and make a ton of friends, and the girls on the team this year have just been amazing and already are becoming my best friends. And Yeah, Post has done a great job welcoming everyone and making sure you have everything you need, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And then Emma, obviously you've been welcomed from the team from Quinnipiac. You're one of 13 newcomers, 7 Division I transfers. How has this team kind of welcomed you to the squad?
I mean, it's really just been about bonding. We got along right away. I would say we're all best friends, and for me it was a really easy changeover because they made it so great and they're so welcoming.
And for both of you, what do you think this team can do this year? 4 straight North Division championships, if you didn't know that, but they haven't won a CACC championship yet or made an NCAA tournament. A lot of nationally ranked talent in this conference, but what can this team do this year, do you think?
I definitely think we're going to go very far, and obviously the end of the year goal is to get a ring, but even making it through to the Elite Eight, and yeah, maybe we can make some history at this school, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we had our first practice the other day, and we just looked great together. I mean, the energy was great, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
We're here with Naj White, returning for her second year with the Post program. Naj, you're one of the newcomers last year, transitioning from Division III Mitchell. You were also at Southern Connecticut for a little while, but what was the transition like coming back from Mitchell up to Post?
It was kind of easy on my end. Basketball is like first nature for me, first love, so it's like kind of just getting back into like the groove of things, and the going from Division III, which is kind of serious but not as serious as Division II. So coming here, it was a little bit more like urgent to, you know, pick everything back up and get back to speed with the competition.
Talk a little bit about what your role was coming on to Courtney Burns' squad last year in her first year, which you were coached by her down at Mitchell. What your role was last year, what your role is going to be, do you feel like this year, being one of the only 3 returners on this team?
My role coming here was pretty much to just try to get everybody else on board with coaches like game plan and style of play, the lock left defense and stuff like that. So just getting everybody on board, and then also being a leader on the court. So.
And then lastly, what do you think this team can do this year? Obviously, like I said, only 3 returners, 13 newcomers, but what do you think this team is capable of?
I think we can go really far. I personally want to win a national championship. I know the rest of the girls want to as well. So it's kind of just being dogs together and just figuring it out. But the goal is a national championship and to win conference. So that's where we are now.
We're here wrapping up our Women's Basketball Media Day for the 2024-25 season, joined by second-year head coach Courtney Burns. Courtney, what was it like in year 1 transitioning from Division III Mitchell up to Division II Post here?
I was really excited for the opportunity. Of course, Post Women's Basketball's had a lot of success prior. I think Coach Plefka did a great job. I think one of the big things for me coming in was being able to really instill all our culture, but also respect the culture before from the success that they had. I was very fortunate to have some returners that really just bought into our culture and the changes that we're looking to do while keep the success that they've had here, and it made my transition a lot easier, and it ended up being a great year for us. And so, for that first year for me coming in from D3 to D2, love the opportunity to be able to work with our players in the preseason, which I think was big, really instilling that culture as we were heading into the season. And, I just can't be thankful enough for the returners that we had that were able to kind of make that transition with me.
And then here at the Drubner Center, you had a lot of success last year, 11-2. You lost to nationally ranked Assumption and lost in the CACC tournament to Golden Beacon. Only 2 losses, though. Is there something about playing here at the Drubner Center that just brings out the best in your team?
Yeah, I think everyone hates playing at the Drubner Center. It definitely gives us a home court advantage, especially for our style, that up-tempo, aggressive defense, being able to pressure in the full court. I think other teams feel crammed when they're in here. So us being able to practice here every day and, run our style, run our system, bodes very well for us and gives us definitely a home court advantage. And we're looking forward to even taking our defense to the next level this upcoming season and, really just cause some chaos. I think being able to learn from the men's team as well, just the way they play so chaos and speed teams up. And, I think our gym bodes very well for that. And obviously the fan support helps also, having them pretty much almost on top of the court. I think it can create some uneasiness in opponents, especially in some close game scenarios.
Talk about what it was like going into this offseason. Only had 3 returners. A lot of your guys were newbies coming in. You've got 13 now. So what was it like retooling and recruiting for this season, knowing that, and getting 7 Division I players out of it, too?
Yeah, so we knew it was going to be almost a complete rebuild just with the amount of players we had graduating the previous year. And our focus going into it with myself and my staff was we kind of wanted to divide up the class. So we were looking at 5 to 6 freshmen, 5 to 6 transfers. We were really excited about our freshman class coming in. We really started a little bit late in the recruiting process. We were able to get out there in July and see some of the top talent in the area. And we were big on really finding players that, we kind of called dogs on defense, that were really going to buy into that philosophy, especially like we just talked about earlier with, the way our gym is and things along those lines. And, just really found players that want to be at post, that were bought in, and we're very excited about our freshman class. All of our commits were top in their position, and when we came to the offseason, we knew we were going to have to hit the portal. I think we did a little bit better in the portal than we had anticipated. Obviously, 7 Division I transfers is pretty good, and it's been great. A mixture of them I've had relationships with in the past, whether I coached them in AAU or trained them, so that's been helpful in the recruiting process as well. But, finding players that, maybe just didn't find the right fit the first time around, and I think the environment here at Post, the camaraderie, not just within our team, but within the whole campus, really got the right kids for us here, and players that are looking for an opportunity, that are hungry for an opportunity, that want to come in and really elevate the program to the next level.
Obviously, you got 4 straight North Division regular season titles in the CACC, one of those under you, the other 3 under John Plefka. What do you think this team is capable of achieving this season? What do you think is the key to capturing that 5th straight title, but also making a run in the CACC, which has a lot of high-level teams?
Yeah, I mean, obviously coming back, you look at Jefferson, you look at Chestnut Hill, Holy Family. They've kind of run the top of the conference for a long time. We've been very fortunate to, capture those 5 titles, like you said. And I think last year, we played together and we were able to hide some of our deficiencies because we played together. And it's going to be similar this year. We have a lot of talent, and the big piece is going to be getting everybody to play together and play for something a little bit bigger than themselves. We have a young roster this year, so I think we went from the oldest team in the country to close to the youngest team in the country with the amount of freshmen, and most of our transfers besides one are sophomores. So we're going to have them for a little while, and I think we have the opportunity to win the first CACC championship underneath these guys' leadership, and with the goal of getting to the NCAA tournament and not just getting there and being happy with it, but making a run in the tournament as well.
Head coach Courtney Burns, 2nd year with the team. Post looking for their 5th straight CACC North Division title, first ever CACC championship this winter. They start things off in November at the St. Mike's Tip.
Welcome back into the Shelton Ice Center. We're just under a minute away from the 3rd period of play here between the Post University Eagles and the Assumption University Greyhounds. Take a look at those stats right on your screen there. Take a look at the shots on goal total. 27 for Assumption, 9 for Post University. And even though we're tied, that is the story of the game so far. A few stats from the 2nd period alone. Shots on goal for Assumption, 13 to just 4 for Post University. Meanwhile, faceoffs won 15-6 in favor of the Eagles. Post also took 2 penalties, but the Greyhounds were never able to score on any of their power play opportunities. This is a pretty common theme for Assumption University throughout the early parts of this season. They ranked second in the NUHA in shots on goal, but 7th in total goals. So a clear disparity there. And we'll see if either one of these groups can get the icebreaker here in the third. We're underway in a 1-1 game. The Greyhounds win the faceoff, but the Eagles send it into the offensive zone. And a vital third period here in Shelton, Connecticut. The Greyhounds try to get it out of their defensive end. They do. They send it up the ice. A little dump and chase game. But Alexa Hanrahan's going to be the first one there for the Greyhounds. Tie up along the near boards. And Wysocki, the leading point getter for the Eagles, comes out with it. Tries to chip it to herself. Goes back behind the net. And she does get it herself. A bit of a platoon swap here for both sides as Post tries to maintain possession in the offensive zone. Not this time, says Assumption. They get it out of there. And Jenna Chaplin gets into the offensive end. Oh, what a move from her, but a great defensive play that time. The combination of Angeline Pitter and Maddie Noonan with the stop there. Now Pitter has it on her stick. Tries to set it up the boards. McKiernan says no. A deflection on goal. That time it looked like it went off of Sajel Desai right in front of the net. The loose puck gets gobbled up by Saunders, who herself has had a tremendous day. Early portions of this third period, just over a minute played, still 1-1. And the first real test of the period goes on Hannah Saunders. Face off to her right, a tie-up, and the Greyhounds win it, but it goes all the way back to their defensive end, where everyone's going to have to touch it up. Kirkeby collects it behind her net, tries to send it out in front, but couldn't do so. Good forecheck here from the Eagles as they try to collect possession. In the offensive end here, a little miss pass. Looked like it was intended for Tristan Curry, but she couldn't connect. And now a reset here, a breakout for Post University. Curry tries to send it up middle ice, but the pass doesn't go. It goes back towards the net of Post. And again, we're stuck in this kind of neutral ice play where neither team is maintaining possession in offensive zone. A lot of play up and down. Here's Terrazino with a shot off the blocker, off the post. And Saunders collects another save. Back behind her net. Let's see if the Greyhounds can maintain possession. They do not. Good effort there from Caitlin Prevey to try to keep it in, but she couldn't do so. Now a breakout here. Pass up the ice, goes right into the stick of Danny Amons, and Post will try to go the other way. Long up ice pass. Macy Peterson with it. Battle alongside the far boards here, back towards the blue line. Amons tries to collect it, couldn't do so. Now she's going to have to get back and play deep. Carissa Mudrack on the other end of the ice. She's only faced 9 shots today, stopped 8 of them for Assumption University. Let's see if the Eagles can make her face some more now. The true freshman with a tough shot. Looked like it went off the mask of somebody at neutral ice, but it goes back into the offensive end. Ruby Mitchell behind her net. Hanrahan clears it out of the defensive zone. And Casey Van Den Udelar, Angeline Pitter. Number 28 and 29 right next to each other. Now the Eagles try to set it up the ice. This long up ice pass just doesn't seem to be working for Post University so far tonight. Seems to be their main breakout strategy, but right now Assumption is defending it well. This time they just try a simple dump and chase game. It goes all the way back down, but it doesn't quite touch the red line, so no icing there. A couple of misplays at center ice. Sees the puck go back into the Eagles' offensive zone, but once again, no sustained offensive possession. We're just kind of playing this defensive stick check game at neutral ice. Wysocki sends it back out. And rather than playing the offensive zone, Assumption's just going to have to touch up. Let's see what the Post University Eagles can do. Dorita sends it over for Hanrahan. And Hanrahan sends it into the offensive zone. And it seems like every time the Eagles just try to get the puck up the ice. There's an Assumption defender right there. Rachel Aggerter tries to get something going for Assumption. Keeps it in the zone. Kirkeby tries to do the same. Now the battle along the far boards. Caroline Lilly in there. Julia Wysocki as well. And Lilly ends up trying to shoot one, but it goes wide of the net. Ava McGaffigan sends it behind the net. Rowan Ringer over there in the battle with the Jakey. Now bank pass up the board so the Post University can just clear and get a quick platoon swap, but a whistle called. Looks like there's going to be a face-off back in the Eagles' offensive zone. Maybe a puck played out of play. So I've talked a lot about the shots on goal. We've talked a lot about the power plays. And it's worth mentioning once again, the face-off advantage has been well in Post's favor tonight, but not that time. Good tie-up on the far boards. And now the puck is loose on the near end. Heather Ajaki tried to play it behind her net, couldn't do so. Post sends it out of their defensive end. Up through the middle of the ice. Here comes an opportunity. Karis Kell tried to shot, but that one went way wide of the net. And again, no offensive possession, really sustained offensive possession. Here's a chance, going the other way, they score! Emma Gurnell with her second of the game, and Assumption takes a 2-1 lead. How about Emma Gurnell? Didn't enter today's game with a single point, but comes in with her second goal of the game. And it's Gurnell 2, the Post University Eagles 1. It felt like it was only a matter of time if you're an Assumption fan. They had sustained offensive pressure, shot after shot, and Hannah Saunders, to her credit, has been tremendous. Another opportunity, but that pass just couldn't connect. Again, it was Emma Gurnell out in front of the netting. Puck goes way up into the rafters here, lands back on the ice, so no stoppage there. Post tries to send it back into their offensive end. Assumption says no. Macy Peterson sends it to Danny Amons. Now over to Pitter. Up the ice. And Riley Patfield tried to send it into the offensive zone, but the Greyhounds once again, a couple of defenders there. And what looked to be a good opportunity for the Eagles, they end up going offsides. 2-1 in favor of the Greyhounds, 13:39 here to go left in the third. Emma Gurnell with both the goals for the Greyhounds today. Defensive zone face-off win for the Greyhounds. They send it up the ice. Good job by Casey Van Den Oudelaar to try to keep it in, but couldn't do so. Now the Eagles trying to tag up here. Goes back down towards their defensive end. Faceoff comes to the left of Carissa Mudrack. The Eagles win it in their offensive end. Big opportunity here for Post. Send it back in behind the netting. Now they're going to try to be heavy here on the forecheck. Rowan Ringer there, as well as McCavakis, but the puck goes all the way down the ice. Saunders wants an icing, but ends up touching it right before it goes to the red line, and the Eagles will have to play it from there. Into the offensive zone they go. Little backhanded attempt, deflection on net, and that time stopped by Mudrack. Carissa Mudrack hasn't faced a whole lot of tests tonight, but when she has, she's come up strong. Now the face-off, one to her left yet again. Won by the Greyhounds. Goes back towards Mary McKiernan, who sends it around the far end to Hanrahan, and Hanrahan gets tied up. Ooh, a hard hit there. That time from Mikavakis. Back towards the far end. Kirkaby sends it back towards the near end, and the tie-up goes to the Greyhounds. This is Agrader with it. Sends it up the ice. Kirkaby, ooh, a good hit that time from Mikavakis. Sends Kirkaby to the ground, and the Eagles pick up possession in their own defensive end. 12 minutes, 15 seconds to go here in this final period of play, with Post University trying to claw back from a 2-1 deficit. Both goals for Grinnell today, both unassisted goals for Grinnell today for Assumption University. Tie up along the far boards. Here's a chance for McKiernan. She takes a shot, and that one gets gobbled up by Saunders yet again. Hander Saunders gets a few taps from her teammates as they go to the benches. We get an entire platoon swap here from both sides. How about Hannah Saunders entering today with tied for the fourth best goals against average in the Newhaw. She's shown just about every. So Assumption's able to keep it into their offensive end, but only for a moment here as Riley Patfield sends it up, and here's an opportunity going the other way. That looked to be Maddie Noonan who couldn't get the shot to go. Goes back to Ruby Mitchell. Another pass intended for Noonan, misses her stick, goes all the way around the boards. And Post University is going to have to collect at center ice. They dump it back in, where Caitlin Prevey is going to be able to collect it. Now Ava McGaffigan makes a good move to get it out of her defensive zone, tries the long up ice pass. Both teams trying it a lot today, but not working very much. And now Post University going from left to right. Good pass here for Ruby Mitchell. Tries to send it across the ice, but a good stick from Terrazino, the former Eagle. Broke up possession for just a second. And here come the Greyhounds. This is Michaela Langbacka with it. Off for Terrazino. Terrazino gets tied up there. Again, Angeline Pitter, who has shown up and out defensively today, making another good play. Langbacka behind the offensive net, trying to get some sort of sustained possession. Sends it out in front. There's a shot on goal, but what a save that time from Saunders. Sheridan Terrazino with a beautiful shot, point blank, and Saunders says no. Assumption with all the momentum as we wind down to the final 10 minutes of this third period of play. Van den Udelaar sends it towards her own bench, where the Greyhounds come up with it. And it goes out of play for a face-off in the neutral zone. 10 minutes on the spot. Here in the third period of play, face-off comes thought it was going to be in the neutral zone, but they actually said it was in the Greyhounds' offensive zone. So a bit more of a testy moment for Hannah Saunders than perhaps imagined. Doesn't matter much as the Eagles win the faceoff. Try to break out of their defensive end. Around the far boards it goes. Hannah Luckman tries clearing it, can't do so. Good job by Justina Valentina to keep it in, but only momentarily. Dump and change for the Eagles. As Kirsten Browning has it, tries another long up ice pass, but feels like every time it's going straight to a defender for both sides. It's a risky game you play with those long up ice passes. You can get some good breakaways as Rowan Ringer does a great job keeping it in the zone. Here's an opportunity for Mikavakis, but Valentini stick checked her right in front of the net. Another shot that time, again from Wysocki. And I believe they made the save. Did Mudrack. Eagles trying to get a little bit of momentum here. Towards the right wing. Now the Greyhounds have it. They just clear their defensive end. Karis Kell sends it into the offensive zone. It goes right back into her stick. Little bank pass. Eagles make sure they're not offsides, and it ends up going to Danny Amons near the red line. Amons ties it up, tries to slow things down. And ends up going over to Rachel Agrader. 2-on-2 for the Greyhounds developing. What a poke check that time from Rowan Winger to break it up. We've seen a lot of bouncing pucks out in front of the net so far tonight. We've seen some really good defensive sticks just to clear the puck out of danger, and Robin Ringer doing a good job there. Pass intended for Alexa Hanrahan up the ice, and Ruby Mitchell comes away with it defensively. Mitchell along the far ends, sends it back out of her defensive zone, but a pass to herself. And Jenna Chaplin just picks her pocket there from behind, and Chaplin falls down to the ice after losing an edge. A little chirpiness back and forth between Mitchell and Chaplin as the puck goes to the other end. Now carrying it the other way. 2-on-1 developing for the Eagles. Off to this end, this is Patfield. She shoots. What a save that time from Carissa Mudrack. A borderline one-time opportunity for Riley Patfield, and Mudrack sliding way over to her left was able to make the glove save. Now here's an opportunity going up the other way, but it's going to end up as an icing for the Greyhounds, and the face-off goes back towards Carissa Mudrack. Here in this third period of play, well, once again, it's been mostly Assumption University. 4 shots on goal as compared to Post University's 2. Obviously, the 1 goal, the second of the game, second of the season from Emma Gurnell. And it's the Assumption University Greyhounds 2, Post University Eagles 1. 7:25 to go here in the third. Another media timeout here at the Shelton Ice Center. Down the bumpy road to the finish we go. 7:25 to go in the third period. Face off to the left of Carissa Mudrack, and the Greyhounds leading 2-1. Shot got blocked that time. It looked like it was off the stick of Angeline Pitter. And the Greyhounds clear the defensive zone. Eagles send it right back in. And a good job from Post University to keep it in, but only momentarily. As the Greyhounds, they look like they're just settling right now for keeping the puck out of their defensive end. Along the near boards, a couple of bodies falling down to the ice. Riley Patfield in the mix for Post University. Eventually it goes to Sheridan Terrazano on the other end of the ice. Good play from Post. Just dump it in, try to get a change and get back on the offensive end of things. 6:38 to go here in the third. Now the other way. Here comes the Greyhounds. Don't let Emma Gurnell get hot. She lays it off and the shot goes wide. Now on this end, Noah Farberman in the battle on the near boards. Emma Gurnell mixed in there as well. Farberman leads it off for Hannah Luckman, and Luckman couldn't handle it. Man, Luckman looked like she had a one-on-one opportunity if she could just field that pass cleanly, but couldn't do so. Farberman looked like she got tripped there, loses an edge, and the whistle gets blown. First power play opportunity of the game for the Post University Eagles, and it couldn't come at a more crucial time. It was definitely a trip. We'll see who the official penalty is on. It's going on Tegan Vaughn. First line defender for the Assumption Greyhounds, and you'd assume that a key person on this penalty kill unit for Assumption. So what a moment here for the Post University Eagles. Post only 5.6%, 1 power play goal on the season. They tried to get another one there, but couldn't get it to go. A good stop that time from Mudrack, and things are getting chippy over there. Some pushing and shoving. Carissa Mudrack had her stick involved. Heather Ajaki was in there in the mix for Assumption University. Looked like Julia Wysocki. Julia Wysocki, she's a tall woman. She was right in front She was right in front of Carissa Mudrack, and Carissa Mudrack seemed like she took exception to it. We have both teams going to their benches right here, a meeting with the referees. And it looked like we were going to have a timeout for a quick second. Or maybe another penalty called, but nothing of the sort, as the referees are now rushing both teams off their benches back towards the face-off circle in the offensive zone. Face-off to the right of Mudrack. Post University wins it, but can't keep it in their offensive end. They'll have to reset. Danny Amons, alongside the near boards, gets tangled up, and actually didn't even see it, but it somehow went off the back of her stick. And now Wysocki has it. Back to Amons, towards the blue line. Over to the other side, a good opportunity, but the shot goes wide. It might have been a pass out into the slot, but no one there to connect with it. Amons once again. Now to the near boards, Mikavakis. Her shot goes wide. 1 minute 26 to go left on this man advantage. Wysocki down below the net now. Pass into the slot, couldn't go. Good stick defensively that time from Kirkaby. Back behind the offensive net, 1 minute 10 to go on the woman advantage. Back to Danny Amons at the blue line. Goes towards the other, and Rowan Ringer just got lit up. Was able to stay on her feet, however. Now Amons picks up the puck. Back towards the blue line. You got to take a shot here, and a good save that time by Carissa Mudrack. Low glove side, and keeps the game at 2-1. 56 seconds left to go on the woman advantage. The penalty to Tegan Vaughn. And overall, 5 minutes to go left in this third period. Second unit out there for the Eagles. Tie up on the faceoff. It ends up going in the Greyhounds' favor, but Post gets possession right back. Racing forward behind the net, and now goes out to the blue line. Angeline Pitter with it. Over to the other end. There's a shot, and it gets blocked on her side. The loose puck out in front, and it gets pushed away. Don't know if it was Mudrack or a defender, but it goes all the way down the ice. And Post University going to have to touch back up. 25 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Carrying it with speed up the ice was Desai, but she couldn't connect into the offensive zone. Now Tristan Curry with it. Curry tries to lay it off towards the blue line, but she can't connect. A really nice play that time from Terrazino, as that'll likely do it on the women advantage for Post University. 3 seconds left to go, and a whiff on the pass there, then a big hit. 4 minutes left to go. Post University 0 for 1 on the power play now. Still only that one power play goal on the season. Angeline Pitter at neutral ice, tries to send it up the ice, but she gets tied up. Really good stick from Agrider. Oh, and here's a 2-0 opportunity for the Greyhounds. The move, the save! What a job from Hannah Saunders to stay with the man. And Hannah Saunders keeps it at a 2-1 game. Now Alexa Hanrahan has it near the blue line. She takes a shot, but that one doesn't hit the net. Macy Peterson tries to collect for Post. She couldn't do so. Her teammate picks her up right behind her. Up the ice, this is Peterson with it once again, and Peterson just dumps it off into the offensive end so the Eagles can get a change. Ruby Mitchell, she tried to make a good play, but once again, it looks like the Greyhounds could have a fast break opportunity. Jenna Chaplin, she tips it in, but a good job by the Eagles to get back, make it 2-on-1. Now Tegan Vaughn, she had the penalty assessed to her earlier. She took a shot, easily sticked aside that time by Saunders. Vaughn with it again, but that shot gets deflected wide. Looked like it went out of play for a quick second. We're going to have a whistle in the offensive zone of the Greyhounds. Looks like we have a timeout here, Post University. 2:41 to go, left in the third period. Post trying to find a way to claw back from a 2-1 deficit here in Shelton. Under 3 minutes to go here in Shelton. Post trying to climb back from a 2-1 deficit. They scored the first goal of the game, Rowan Ringer's first of the season, and then Emma Gurnell got the next two for Assumption University to make it a 2-1 game. This third period, however, has been much more even than the previous two. Post wins the faceoff, sends it back behind their defensive end, and now try to break out. You also have to be wondering if you're Pat Bingham and crew, when are you going to pull Hannah Saunders? As we tick down to just over 120 seconds left in this game. Well, first things first, if you're Post, you have to clear the defensive end, and they do so. Noah Farberman up the ice. Tries to leave it for Hannah Luckman, but that pass gets intercepted, and it goes back down. Brooke Larson with it now. Sends it up. Again, Luckman, the intended receiver for that one. But it gets cut off by Carissa Mudrack, and the Greyhounds just decide to clear it all the way down the ice. This should be an icing, and it is. Pretty crucial icing when you think about it. Eagles with the opportunity to change. The Greyhounds have to keep their 5 on. Carissa Mudrack, she's been tested a bit more in this third period than in previous ones. Here in the third, it's 6 shots on goal for Assumption, 5 shots on goal for Post University, so a much more even period in that department. We also seen Post maintain their face-off advantage. Good opportunity for Rowan Winger, the goal scorer, but she couldn't end up getting the shot on goal. Now Von Den Udelaar with it. Sends it around the far end. Post trying to collect it near the blue line, they do so. That was McCavicus, sent it out in front, but it got deflected wide. Back behind the netting it goes. Play gets tipped high up into the air over the netting. Another 60 seconds off the clock just like that. Make it 1:36 to go here in this third period of play. Empty net. I didn't even notice it at first, but looks like Hannah Saunders is off the ice. 6 skaters on for Post University. The tie-up on the face-off. Who's going to come away with it? It's the Greyhounds. They try to bang pass it out of their defensive end, but Julia Wysocki keeps it in. Around the near end it goes. Von Den Udelaar with it, chips it up high into the air, and it goes right back down at her skates. 1:20 to go left in this third period. Back in the offensive zone. Ringer sets up Wysocki, but Wysocki missed on the shot. Over towards the far boards. Battle for the puck, 1:05 to go left in this third period. Macy Peterson in there, finds Wysocki behind the net. Wysocki with the move, sends it out in front. No one there, but a good collection at the blue line. Ringer whiffed on the shot. And once again, the loose puck goes right to Danny Amons. Amons couldn't handle it herself. Under a minute to play left in this third. Extra attacker on, 6 on 5 in favor of the Eagles, trying to climb back from a 1-goal deficit. 45 seconds left to go in this third. A tie-up along the near boards, a quick change. The puck goes all the way into the Eagles' defensive end as 35 seconds and ticking. Into the offensive zone it goes. Macy Peterson chasing after it for Post University. She can't get there. It's Jenna Chaplin now for the Greyhounds. She chips it forward, tries to get out of their defensive zone. They do. Recollected by the Eagles. 21 seconds left in this third. One final push. Tristan Curry with a shot. That one gets blocked wide. Back towards the far boards. Another shot. Ruby Mitchell. That one gets blocked before it ever hit the net. The Greyhounds clear it. 10 seconds to go. One last opportunity. Tristan Curry through neutral ice into the offensive zone. And the Greyhounds are more than happy to just hold on to it and get out of Shelton with a win. The first regular season win for the Greyhounds in regulation. And how about the game for Emma Gurnell? 2 goals, her first 2 of the season. The only 2 goals against Hannah Saunders all game, who had a beautiful game. And the Greyhounds win this one by a score of 2-1. We'll be right back with a little bit more post-game coverage. Some stat recaps as these teams meet at center ice. Give us a few seconds. Once again, it's the Greyhounds 2, Post University 1 here in Shelton. Welcome back into Shelton, Connecticut as we're wrapping up this matchup in the Newha as Assumption University gets its first win of the season in regulation over the Post University Eagles. Now let's recap this one. It started off with Rowan Ringer in the first, really only just a minute into this game. Ringer gets her first of the season. A loose puck found the Eagles up 1-0, but then the Emma Gurnell show started. 2 unassisted goals allowed the Greyhounds to win this one 2-1. But how about the goalies today? A big story of this game. For Post University, Hannah Saunders, she made 31 saves, allowing only 2 goals. Again, Emma Gurnell really just had the better of her tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side of things for Assumption University, Carissa Mudrack had a fantastic game, allowing the 1 goal on 15 shots, make it 14 saves for her tonight. 2 penalties for Post University, 1 penalty for the Greyhounds, and none of the teams were able to score on the power play tonight. But for our entire crew here at Post University, I want to thank you so much for joining us. My name's Max Stapleton, and once again, it's the Greyhounds 2, the Eagles 1. Good night, everybody.